YouTube, what's going on? So it's Saturday night. It's about 10:30 Phoenix time. It is... What is the date? I think it's like November 15th or 16th. And anyways, went down to the Toy Pimp's house earlier today. Got this Mitsubishi Lancer rally car, which is insanely detailed. It is NO64, so it's static display, but it's a damn nice one. So a lot to talk about in this video, starting with these cars we're going to look at. Here's another one. Little Honda Civic hatch. Also made by NO64. The stuff that I like to collect. Mazda RX-5 Cosmo. Made by Konami. This is a color I've never seen before. I've only known this to be available in red and champagne color. And this little display is less than ideal. My diorama's out in my car. Took it out for some pictures today. So with some of these NO64 cars, I've gotten some extra wheels. So I'm going to show you what I've done with some of the wheels. This one is not... I actually took these wheels off of a Aoshima. This little Corolla 11. I think it looks sweet with these wheels on it. I'm also finding that my collection is definitely Toyota predominant. Here's the Aoshima that I took those wheels off of. And these are the wheels, the spare wheels that came on one of the NO64 cars. So Aoshima is really known for the Bosozoku style. Although this one is very mild. Some of them get really extreme, but this Toyota Carina is pretty simple. Not a lot going on with it, which I like. Really cool car though, and I like these wheels better than the wheels that were on it. And I like the wheels that are on the Orange 11 better than the wheels that were on it, so it all just kind of worked out. So this, whoa, let's not break these. This is a car that I've had. It is an NO64 Toyota 8611. And it is unfortunately a static display. I think NO has released this car. It's been at least 5 different decos. At least 2 of them being racing. The 3 that I have are civilian This one here I think is probably my favorite. Here in black with the gold lace chrome lip wheels. I think it looks fantastic. And it's weird, you know, I got decent lighting in there, but camera's just not having any of it. Anyways, it looks great in black. Try not to finger it all up here. They did this one here, which is a Japan exclusive, and the red one, and actually all three of these come with extra wheels. So these are not the wheels that come on the car, but they do come with the car. But the good thing about this one is that it is not a static display. It's a nice rolling model. It's the only Corolla 11 that rolls. I don't know if it's just because I did a wheel swap on it or what, but I think it has the best looking wheels and it rolls. So that's awesome. I like this one a lot. Here's an old tarmac. This isn't part of today's stuff, but I have it out, so I'll show it real quick. Tarmac Works Toyota Supra, the Paul Walker car. It is a Paul Walker benefit car, so I don't know if part of the proceeds go to his charity or what the deal is. I don't know, but this is one of the few Tarmac Works cars that rolls. It's actually a pretty nice roller. And I want to look, if we're able to, look at this one a little bit closer just because of the crazy detail. Which, you know, the seat harnesses aren't that big of a deal because even the Corollas have them. The Civics have them. But up here you have the spotlights. Really nice lensed headlight and indicator detail. The honeycomb grille, Mitsubishi logo. You've got the snorkel. Prototypical wheels. The windows on this are kind of mirrored. Two accurately scaled antennas. If you've ever tried dealing with an antenna on a 1:64 scale car, it's very hard to find material that is scale accurate that works. These are awesome. They're nice and flexible, so probably not going to just break them. But the amount of detail on this car, it's probably up there with the Gulliver 64 Toyota Crown Comfort Taxi as the most detailed 1:64 scale car I think I've seen. This one here is a casting that you're all very familiar with, although the release isn't probably something you're not familiar with. This is the Bishop exclusive Brie Dotson. They did a little 4-car release. One orange, one yellow. I forget the other color. Light blue or something. And then they did this black one. And I wanted the black one. And this also comes with a little Brie Racing driver. So who is it? Is it John Morton? It could be. That could be John Morton, right? I don't think that that's an accurate fire suit, but it's cool to have a race car driver with the Brock Racing brand on it. Because with all the green light stuff that I have and all the race car drivers I have, I don't have a Brie Racing driver. But the car is, you know, it is what it is. It's not great. Some decos look better than others on this casting, but I just wanted it because the Brock in black looked really good. So there's that one. I picked up this. It's a little Konami. It's for all the Honda people out there. And I'm going to try to do. Let's try to. And there's a lot of light here. I don't understand why it's coming in so dark. Anyways, this is a Konami Honda S600 Roadster. Not as nice as the Kyosho. But if you like the vintage Japanese stuff, this is a sweet little car. It's nicely proportioned and detailed with lens headlights and taillights. Accurate stance. Just a cool little car. Got a pig butt. All you JDM people out there. Nice pig butt Nissan Laurel from Konami. This is a car that I think I do want to do a wheel swap on. I want to swap these wheels and put maybe some of the NO64 wheels on it. I know that these wheels would look great on the Laurel. But here's another angle for the black 86. That is just such a killer car. It looks so good. So I'll have to get some pictures up on Instagram. Some big news coming here on the channel tonight for Heavy Metal 164. Before I get into it though, we'll take a look at these last few. Another Konami car that I picked up today was this Nissan Violet. Which if you watch the channel, you know that I already have this, so you're probably thinking, well, what the heck? Why'd you get another one? And the answer to that, I was going to show you, but I can't find the other one. Where'd I put it? Trying to find the other one. Sorry guys, I know the quality of this video has been pretty horrible. Man, I don't even know where I put the car. Anyways, the reason I got a new one is because I like this casting a lot from Konami. I like it better than the Tomica Limited Vintage because it's a two-door and the wheels look better. And I like the tan interior. It's just a really clean car, and this was sealed in the bubble. It had never been opened. The other one that I have is starting to chip the paint down to the metal. Like the paint's just flaking off. And I've had a lot of Konami cars, and I know that they've had notorious paint issues, but I've never seen that particular issue. But I do like this car, and I wanted a nice, clean example of it. So there you go. It is key when handling these cars to try to use gloves, and I need to get better at that, because your fingers, the oil of your fingers just wrecks the paint. I just can't believe how dark this is showing up on this channel or on the video here. It should be a lot brighter. Anyways, let's get into my favorite brand. I got another one of these. I've had a few of these in my days as a collector. Tomica Limited Vintage Toyota Cresta. Very cool car. Tomica Limited Vintage Nissan Leopard. Really nice color on that one. This is essentially the same car that they did in the Tomica Premium, but I just don't collect the Tomica Premium. Love this car. Subaru Legacy GT. Probably, let me see if the year. Oh, look what I found. Here's the other violet I was talking about. See the rear quarter, or the rear corner? Not good. That sucks. So this one might just be a custom of some kind, I guess. Anyways, the Subaru Legacy GT, I don't know the year. It's not on the box, but I'm assuming probably like a 1987. It's a damn nice looking car. This is the best diecast brand out there, in my opinion. When you rate them out overall, Kyosho's probably nicer detail. Inno64 is probably nicer detail. But when you combine catalog selection with detail and accuracy, and then you factor in build quality, Tomica Limited Vintage takes it for me. None of the domestic brands would even be on the list, except for maybe Auto World. Green Light pales in comparison. And Johnny Lightning is kind of the same thing. Johnny Lightning isn't really for real, in my opinion. I know a lot of you guys like Johnny, and you probably don't like that I talk down about Johnny Lightning, but if you're a replica collector like I am, Johnny Lightning is one of the worst brands. In fact, probably the worst premium detailed brand. and then I'd put M2 next. Okay, this is a 1983 Toyota Crown 2.8 Royal Saloon. They just re-released a car very similar to this. The one that they re-released is a 1985. And it is a little bit different. It has the same wheels and the same paint scheme, but it doesn't have a sunroof. And I think there might be some other subtle differences. Actually, you know what? I've got it right here, so let's just take it out and I'll show you. So here's your 1985. There's your 1983. Both of them have the red burgundy interior. Both are very nice cars. They're twins, essentially. The sunroof is the easy way to tell them apart. All right. That only leaves one more car, and then we got to get into some important stuff. Let's look at the back of that real quick first. I love Toyotas. In case you didn't know, I do love Toyotas. Love them so much that here's another one. This one also doesn't have the year on it, and I wouldn't even venture a guess on this one as far as the year goes, but this is a Toyota Crown. Probably older than the last one, so this is probably, at least I think it is. I don't know though. But I want to say this is probably late 1970s, early 1980s. It's a beautiful car. I have not checked eBay, but I think this is a very expensive car on eBay. It's one of the advantages of living close to the toy pimp. So you got to go through his stuff, and his pricing isn't necessarily based on market price. He just has so much stuff that he can't keep up with all of that. So I think a lot of the TLV stuff he bought a long time ago when it came out, and it's just leftover inventory. So while the prices climb on certain castings, he's just worried about making his regular profit margin on it. Okay, so that's it. So that brings me to my point of this. Oh, no, we got one more. Can't forget, this is the nicest car of the day, in my opinion. Another Tomica Limited Vintage 4x4. So beautiful. This is just an art form, and the designers at Tomica Limited Vintage are just artisans at what they do. You know, Hot Wheels and Matchbox would take that top out like that to save money on metal and also to save weight on shipping. TLV does it exactly how the car is. In fact, when they design a car like this, they go out and I don't know if they buy one or rent it or whatever, but they find a real 1-to-1 scale car and bring it into their design studio as a reference. And that right there is one of the best 1-to-64 scale 4-wheel drive vehicles I've seen. I really wish they would do the Toyota Land Cruiser from this same time frame. Which I want to say this is a 1994. Yeah, 1994. It's a Mitsubishi Pajero Super Exceed 2. Pajero. I don't know the pronunciation of it, but just a damn nice car. I'm loving that one. So anyways, set up some Toyota stuff here, and then I'll go into fill you guys in on what is happening. Because things are definitely happening. So here's a nice little classic Toyota garage. Got a Carina, a Supra, and some Corollas. Not to mention the Crowns and the Cresta and the Land Cruisers and all the other nice Toyota stuff I have. I'm going to make a Toyota dealership. So I'm not getting out of the hobby. I've just had a lot of stuff going on in my life since about July. And it's kind of starting to settle down, but it's still going to be a couple of months. But I really want to get back into diorama making. So I'm going to make a Toyota used car dealership. And I might make it in the style of a Japanese dealership. I just don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'll figure it out when the time comes. But as you guys know, I haven't been very active on the channel because I've had other stuff going on. I've sold most of my collection. I have whittled it down. So I like to think of it as I have a fine palette for what I want to collect. There won't be any fat. It's going to be a real lean collection of cars. These 3 Toyota 86s, I can tell you, I probably will only end up with one. It's just going to be a real streamlined type of collection with mostly civilian models and mostly simple cars. There's going to be no Hot Wheels, very little Matchbox. Mostly, I think my focus will be Tomica Limited Vintage and Greenlight. Those are going to be the 2 focus cars, and then I'll mix in some of the other import detailed stuff like Hobby Japan, NO64, Tarmac Works, and those type of brands. So anyways, I know you're all aware of that, based on the lack of activity on the channel. I have floated the idea of selling my channel, and it has been met with kind of a mixed response. Most people, I think, were supportive if they felt like it was what I wanted to do. But there were 2 or 3 of you out there, and you know who you are, who had some fairly negative responses about it. I only reached out to, I think, 2 or 3 friends in the hobby to ask their personal opinion. And one of them thought, hey, it could be a good idea. The other one recommended I don't do it. And I asked those 2 people because I value their opinions and I appreciate and respect their opinions. I've thought long and hard about this, but I have made the decision to sell the channel. And part of that is because of who's buying the channel. I wouldn't have just sold it to anybody. It had to be somebody who's into the hobby, who shares the passion for cars and diecast. And there was someone who was moderately interested at first. He was intrigued, but it took him some time to think about it and decide that that was something he wanted to do. And he did eventually come to the conclusion that he thought that it would be a good idea for him to have a YouTube channel. And so basically this is me announcing that Heavy Metal 164 is going away. However, the channel's going to continue and the diecast content is going to continue, and if anything, it's going to get much better. So I know part of this whole thing is personal, and I know a lot of you guys look at it like we don't want someone else, we want Heavy Metal 164, and I'm just saying that because a couple of you have told me that verbatim. But just think about it as, on a grander scale. At some point, if I decide to, I can start another channel. And I know there's a lot that goes into that. I know that it won't be monetized. You have to build it up. I understand all of that. It's not a problem because I didn't do it for the money anyways. And honestly, guys, it's not that much money anyways. But for me right now, I just don't have the time or the drive to be making YouTube videos. And the person that's going to be taking over the channel is the most knowledgeable person I've ever met when it comes to diecast cars. He's worked in the industry. He worked for Johnny Lightning. He's been around it for the last probably 25 years, give or take. And anyways, you guys know where I'm going, and I think a lot of you know who I'm talking about. But the Toy Pimp is going to be taking over Heavy Metal 164. He collects. He has a very extensive collection. He has just under 12,000 cars in his personal collection, and his goal as a collector is to go out and get one example of every 1/64 scale tooling that's ever been struck. So in this case, with this Toyota 86, he doesn't need all 3, he just needs 1. But think about how ambitious that is. And then when you factor in the fact that he goes to Japan every year, he has contacts and suppliers in Europe, and he knows he knows a lot of people. He knows people over at Round 2. He knows people at Mattel on the Matchbox side, and probably on the Hot Wheels side as well. But if you guys are truly passionate about diecast, I think that you should continue to support the channel. You know, it's going to change directions, but there's still going to be great content. If you are not interested, you can unsubscribe. You can scoot along. There's no point in commenting. Any negativity will be deleted. You don't have to support the decision, but if you're not going to support it, just don't support it quietly. I will still be around on Instagram, so you guys can contact me there. But if you truly are enthusiastic and passionate about diecast cars, you should stick around and see what the Toy Pimp has to offer. He's got a lot of knowledge, and he has contents for 5 lifetimes. That's not an exaggeration. Because after I post this video, I'm going to post a quick video that's just going to be just a glimpse of what is about to come. So I do want to say thank you to everybody. It's been a lot of fun, 3.5 years. I've met a lot of great people. I've established some really good relationships. I'd like to shout out a few people. I got to start with someone who I don't know, but I have to shout him out. Owen, WTF FOR, up in Canada. He's the first channel that I ever saw. Joe Motor, shout out to you. I've talked to you a couple times. I don't know you at all, but I have spoken to you. These are guys that kind of inspired me to start collecting and start sharing my cars on YouTube. Some other shout outs. Champion DJK. He has become a personal friend to me. He's helped me out many times, and it's just a relationship that'll continue on. But I feel like almost like our channels are cousins or something, you know, because they kind of evolved at about the same rate, at about the same time. And so he's a great dude. But yeah, Pooch Man, I know his channel's very different, but it's also another channel that really inspired me to get going. So that's it, guys. Thank you. It's been a lot of fun. If I ever do start another channel, it will be the same moniker if it's available, which it may not be. But I want to focus. If I do it, there will be an emphasis. It'll be diecast cars, but there will be an emphasis on model making. So anyways, that's it. This is it. I'm signing off. It's now going to be the Toy Pimp at the helm. So you guys take care. Please support him. If you don't want to, that's fine. Just unsubscribe and move along. But I think you guys will really like to see the stuff that he has to show you. And if you do want to say hi, just hop on over to Instagram. That's where I'll be. I'll talk to y'all later.